Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well and having a lovely day. I haven't made a video in a little while. I'm really sorry. I've been really unwell the last month with like different things. I got unwell and then started to feel better and I got ill again, but hopefully I'm on the mend now, and I can start making content, as well as the fact that I know I keep banging on about it, but obviously we're getting our house renovated at the moment, so it's pretty loud here. You might even be able to hear some music. It's a quieter day today because the guys are plastering, which means we're getting there, yay! But there's music on and stuff, so I'm sorry if you can hear it in the background, but it's not that loud, so hopefully I can kind of like fade it out with some music of my own or something. And it's school holidays, so I'm just trying to film this video in the middle of the boys needing me, the baby napping, that kind of thing. But anyway, I really wanted to make this video for ages now. This is going to be my best baby buys, best baby must-haves. I've made these videos over the years for each of my children, but as a third-time mum, I thought it would be really good to make this because I feel like if it's something that you really do love and recommend after the third one, then it's got to be pretty good, hasn't it? If you're new around here, then I have a 7, nearly 8-year-old, a 5-year-old, and Finley is our baby. He's actually 8 months old now, which is absolutely crazy. I'd planned to make this video about 6 months in. That is my dog burping. Did you hear that? I do apologise, she's very rude. But I hope you find this video helpful and enjoyable to watch, and subscribe if you are new. I'd love for you to come and join us. Hopefully once things are a little bit less crazy here, there'll be a lot more videos coming up on my channel. And if you have been around for a long time, then hello gorgeous people, welcome back. Just quickly before I get into it, today's video is sponsored by Sky Cinema. I work with them each month and do like our little movie club review, and I've been loving it so far. And I usually do it within a vlog, but where I haven't been well, they very kindly said I could put it at the beginning of this video to tell you about it because yeah, we watch a different movie every month, different genres, and this month's movie was the new release on Sky Cinema called Paws of Fury. It's a family film, so I have a little helper that's gonna tell you what he thought of the movie as well. So I've got my biggest boy, this is Archie if you don't already know him. And how old are you gonna be soon? Very soon, in a month. Less than a month, we're gonna be 8. How are you 8? I was making these videos, these best baby buy videos about you when you were a baby, and now you're nearly 8. That just doesn't seem real. I can't believe it. Anyway, so for our movie night last week, we watched Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank, which is available on Sky Cinema now. It was a really good family, movie, and you really enjoyed it, didn't you? It's just your kind of thing. Who's your favourite character?
Hank.
So Hank is a dog in a sort of like a village or a town of cats. They're all cats, aren't they? And do they like him or not? They don't like him being there, but the town is in danger of being wiped out by an evil villain who is played or voiced by Ricky Gervais, which he's a really funny character. So they basically need a hero to save them. So what happens? How does Hank become a hero?
So the cat samurai runs away when the bad cats come, then and like five days later Hank comes.
Hank comes, and the samurai cat, I think it's called Jimbo, he trains him up, doesn't he?
Yep.
And then what was your favourite part of the film?
The battle.
The big battle?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was really good. It's all the kind of things that Archie likes. There's like a bit of like samurai, like fighting. And there's all that kind of thing in it, but obviously it's family friendly, and there's some really amazing actors doing the voices of the cats and Hank. So Michael Cera, I think Cera, and also Samuel L. Jackson plays the voice of Jimbo, and as I said, Ricky Gervais is in it, and there's lots of other celebrities that you'll recognise the voices of. So it's a really good family friendly movie. So yeah, we loved it, and I will link the trailer in the description box below for you to find out more if it sounds like something you guys would like to watch with your families on your next movie night.
Yeah.
Also, if you have Sky Cinema, you also now get Paramount Plus free, which has loads of great movies and TV shows on it, including Halo, The First Lady, one of the boys' favourites and mine, School of Rock, There's loads on there. Clifford the Big Red Dog's quite a new one as well. We watched that and that's brilliant. So I'll leave all of the information in the description box below, and now let's get into the video. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you about is the Snoozer Hero, which is a baby breathing monitor. I'd never actually heard of this before having Finley, which I find really surprising because I think they've been around for a while. And it's actually, I think, the only one that is certified by the Lullaby Trust, which is obviously brilliant. And I think one evening I was just having a really, I was having a bit of a wobble in the first couple of weeks. I think I'd seen something about Sid's death and it just freaked me out, and I was looking for something. And this is a small wearable baby monitor. It basically has a little silicone tip and the rest is plastic. It's very lightweight. You clip it onto their nappy and the silicone part just gently rests on their tummy, and it monitors their breathing. You just recalibrate it by pressing the 2 buttons on the sides, and then you'll get a green flashing light to show you that it's working. Then you put it on them and then the green light just will consistently flash. You can also have like a noise, a beep noise going off every breath they make, which isn't that loud, so it wouldn't keep you awake all night, but you can have that off as well. Anyway, if they don't breathe for something like 15 to 20 seconds, it will give them a little vibration on their tummy, so it will just make them sort of start breathing again. If it was just that they were having a gap between their breathing, obviously if there was something wrong, then that's a different story, but if there is no breathing detected after, like I said, about 20-ish seconds, an alarm will go off to let you know. So it was really reassuring as a new parent again to have this, and I found that I could sleep much better when he was wearing it. Now, actually, I didn't know whether to, or not to say this, but the first or second night of us using it, it didn't alarm, but it did go red, which means that when it goes just red but an alarm doesn't go off, sorry about the noise, it indicates that your baby didn't breathe for a certain amount of time, so it did the little vibration and then that made them start the breathing again, or they just did start breathing again. It sounds really scary and horrible, I know. And yeah, the first or second morning after using it, I checked it and it was red, and that freaked me out. Now, I don't think I'll ever know now, well I won't, if it was maybe just because we were new to using it, maybe didn't put it on properly, although I'm sure it was on properly, or maybe his nappy wasn't tight enough and that was the reason, or if it genuinely did somehow, that was the night that he didn't breathe for a certain amount of time and that just helped, you know, rouse him. I won't ever know, but that did happen, and then we didn't get any more red. Like, it wasn't red in the morning after that. It was always green until about 6-ish months, I would say, maybe 5 months, because this is the only downside I found when they start rolling over, it isn't as good, and because there's like a gap between them and their nappy when they're not on their backs. So the alarm would go off more, but it wasn't because he wasn't breathing, it was because there wasn't any contact. And also I think now he's 8 months old and he's in his big cot, I don't think it would be any good, because he sometimes sleeps with his knees up, like, you know, like sort of like curled up on his tummy, but his knees are up, so that wouldn't probably have contact, and he moves around too much. So I would say it is more one of those things for reassurance in those first 4 to 5 months. And it's not cheap. Something I did read is that people that have sadly lost a child to SIDS can be given these by the Lullaby Trust. The Lullaby Trust will give them to people whose children have sadly passed away because of that reason. So that's a really good thing, and it's the only baby monitor, like I said, certified by the Lullaby Trust. So I do think it is a brilliant thing. The peace of mind I got for the money was actually worth it, but it's not something I think you do have to bear in mind, it's not something that is usable for, say, the first 12 months. And also something to note as well, if they were in their own room, I don't think you'd be able to hear it, because it's not like a mega loud alarm. Like, so where Finley is, we wouldn't be able to hear that. I'm not sure if you would hear it for a baby monitor, but as they recommend babies being in with you in a cot next to you for the first 6 months anyway, I don't really see how that's a problem, but yeah, I thought I would mention those couple of things because they're things that I noticed. Now, I've gone on about that for a really long time because I feel like you have to get quite in depth to explain that and talk about that, and there's a lot more to it. I'll link everything in the description box below for you so you can do your own research, of course. I'll try not to talk about everything else for quite so long because that was a bit OTT. So the next thing is one of my favourite things. I love it. I've spoken about it on Instagram. It's been a lifesaver. Absolutely amazing this time around, and that is the Dream Egg white noise machine. We got it again from Amazon, as a lot of these things probably are. Yeah, it's a white noise machine. It does play different sounds like heartbeat. We only really use like the white noise, so I'm not sure of all of the sounds, but there is a few different ones. There's a light on it, which one that kind of like goes on and off like this, but that would just, I feel like that would keep everyone awake. And then like a soft light, which is good for in the night changing nappies. You can put a timer on it. I have learned through having 3 babies, some of them love white noise and it makes them go to sleep like that. They're literally like, especially as really young babies, or some just don't like it. My first baby loved it. Second baby did not like it at all, wouldn't help him go to sleep, thank God. Third baby loves it, I think more than Archie did. So we used to just put it on the phone in the room because you can, for free, get like 8-hour white noise tracks or pink noise or brown noise. There's loads of noise tracks on YouTube, so you can just search it and find out if your baby likes this sort of noise before buying anything like this. I think that's a really good tip. You can also get them on Spotify, so you can get it completely for free. But what I found was that, one, I don't really want my phone being next to him all the time. And 2, I need my phone for work and other things, so every time he was having a nap he would also have my phone, which was when I could use my phone, so that didn't really work. So I was like, right, I need a white noise machine. One thing I like about this is we've had like the really cute You and the Dream sheeps and things like that before, which I do really like, and I'm sure you can probably replace the batteries, but they do run out of batteries. We did use, it was, to be honest, from having Elliot, I think there was still some battery in it, and we used it for the first few weeks with Finley, but it ended up running out, and we just bought this because it's rechargeable, so it will work on a charge like a phone for probably a whole night, maybe even 2 if you keep it on all night long, which we do because he just likes it. But you can also have it plugged in, and then obviously it just works on and off, like whenever you turn it on and off. So yeah, the Dream Egg has got such good reviews on Amazon, and we can really vouch for it. So, but yeah, give it a go on one of the free things, like I said. See if your baby likes white noise. If they do, definitely invest in this because you will get some sleep, I guarantee it. So next up is the SnoozePod. So I'll quickly go over this, but it's something I mentioned in my baby favourites with Elliot as well, because we had one of these with Elliot. Now the reason this is a new one is because Archie was a toddler at the time, and there's a mesh panel at the front because it's the next to me cot, so you can have the front open, and where Archie was like 2 at the time, he would walk across it whilst it was down, and eventually his foot went through the mesh and ripped it, so we needed a new one. But we loved it so much we repurchased this one because it was a brilliant solution. But with Finley, with Elliot, I had the side of it open, which is the whole point of it. You can have it up against your bed, and there's different safety aspects of it which you can implement to make it safer and stuff. So they're next to you but they're not in your bed. But with Finley we didn't do that. We've just used it as a normal cot, so we could have gone for anything really in that sense, but we found, because we had a little rocking cot downstairs with, you know, like more of a traditional cot with the bars, he didn't like sleeping in that because it was small, and I don't know, he just likes the SnoozePod because it's more, I feel like it feels more enclosed. Not to be confused with the sleepy heads or the docker tots. I actually had one of these for Elliot and he loved it, but I've heard a lot in recent times about them not being considered safe now, so we didn't get one this time, and someone on Instagram was telling me I shouldn't be recommending them, but this is not that. This is a safe sleeping space for babies, and it's called a SnoozePod, but it's not one of those pod things. It's a bit confusing, but anyway, yeah, really liked it. Like I said, there's probably lots of next to me style cots we could have got this time because we didn't actually use it in that way, but just as a cot in general, it is brilliant, and I really recommend it for both, whether you're having the side open or you're having the side closed, or a bit of a mixture. So I really do recommend the SnoozePod. It's actually the SnoozePod 4 now, so it's moved on a bit, but yeah, it's very good. Next up was probably our biggest purchase, and this was the iCandy lime. This was something that we honestly bought, I think, a week before Finley was born. We just couldn't decide which pram to get, and there was a lot we were looking at. We looked in John Lewis. That's a really good tip actually if you're pregnant right now. John Lewis do a service where you can go in store and they'll show you how all the prams, all the car seats, everything works, all of the specs, all of the, like, compare them, you can feel them, you can put them up and down. It's really, really good. So you just book that in. I think you still have to book it. Maybe that was a COVID thing, but yeah, book an appointment, and then you won't be waiting around for someone to see you, and they'll be able to dedicate their time to you. So there's no obligation to buy anything either, but obviously you can buy all of them from there. But we ended up getting the iCandy lime because lots of different reasons. Like, it's a really great brand. It's well built. It's got good storage, although the storage space is the only downfall when you have the bassinet. So in the first sort of 6 months, it's quite difficult to get to the storage underneath it. But now we've moved on to the normal seat, that's not a problem anymore. It's got an adjustable handle height, which we find really good because Rick's really tall and I am not really tall. Really easy to put up and down. We got the grey one. I'm sure it's probably got more of a name than that. But yeah, just if you're struggling with prams, obviously do your own research for what works for you. But we found this a really good, like, sort of middle ground. It's not too big or not too small. It's definitely not one of the most compact, but it's not one of the most bulky and heaviest either. And it's kind of good on all terrains. Obviously, if you are in the city, you might want to go with more of a lightweight one. If you walk a lot in, like, woodland or something, or like do lots of trips like that out and about, you might want to go for one that is more bulky because it's going to be better on, like, rougher ground. But we're kind of like taking it to the park kind of people, taking it to the shopping centre kind of people, taking it on the school run kind of people. So yeah, we just wanted something that was sort of in the middle, and the iCandy lime has been brilliant. No complaints about it in the first 8 months. Looks really nice. Comes with all different accessories. You can get different packs with different things, cup holders, bags, depending on what you want to spend. You can also get like a car seat bundle with it and different adapters. Yeah, anyway, iCandy lime is what we chose, and I'm really glad we did. We made a good decision and I really like it, so had to recommend it. Next up, I actually have this thing in here with me because my child is not using it right now. I have recommended this before in a baby Best Buys video, and that is the Angel Care bath seat for 0 to 6 months. This is fantastic. With Archie, our first, we did have a separate bath, and some people like that. But what we found is that it was really annoying to have to fill that bath up and then empty that bath out all the time. So just as we, like, second, third time parents, we'd been bathing a child for quite a long time by that point. I think you're quite scared in the beginning, aren't you? And a small little, like, plasticky bath seems a bit safer than putting your baby in a big bath. We had a toddler by this point who was having a bath every night, so we were like, we're going to get one of these, chuck it in the bath with the baby. No, wait, hang on. Put the baby in this with the toddler, and then we can bath them both. And they just lay on here. It's really nice because it's mesh, so the warm water comes through. It dries really well every day because it's not made of any fabric or anything. You can get them in grey, pink and blue, I believe. Maybe other colours. The whole of the bottom has got a grip on it, so like it doesn't slide around the bath all the time. And yeah, we just thought that was brilliant. The only thing is, as they start to get, I would say again, to about 5-6 months, maybe, yeah, 6 months, my child anyway like to try and, like, say like, hang on, let me get a model. So yeah, this is Dave the elephant. So say he's in it like this, he just would like to keep kicking his legs like this to try and jump out. That was about 6 months. I don't think you have to worry about that just at the start. They do lay in it nicely for a while. And now we have one where he sits in it, and that's really good as well, but I guess that's for another video. I'll put a little picture here anyway in case you are progressing to that stage. So yeah, that's the Angel Care bath seat. And then a bath thermometer. I've heard some people say like this is one of those things you don't use, but I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm nervous, but I use it every single day. I wouldn't put my baby in the bath just by testing. I know maybe that's really silly, like putting your elbow in, you can probably tell if the water's all right, but you're meant to have the bath around, well, no hotter than 37 for your baby. So I just go by that, and on the really hot heat wave days, made it a little bit cooler to make sure like it felt like a nice temperature for him. So I just kind of go by that, and I like the fact that it also, this one has a flashing light on the top, so you can easily see if you've made it too hot and put some more cold in. It's just a nice thing to have, and a good thing about it as well is the way you turn it on is you just kind of like bash the side of it or drop it in the bath and it starts working. Maybe it even starts working just by water. I don't know. I've always just hit it and thrown it in and it works. So you can just do it all one-handed when you're like holding the baby. So yeah, I've used a bath thermometer for all of mine and always found it really useful. So I would recommend grabbing one of those. Just quickly on thermometers, a bit boring but quite important when you have a baby. We've got the, I get confused now because we've got the Dream Egg white noise machine. This one's called the Grow Egg. We've had this for all of the babies as well, so this wasn't a new purchase, but I thought I'd quickly mention it again. And it's just a little egg, and it's very self-explanatory. If it's really cold, it's blue. If it's about right, it's yellowy orange. If it's too hot, it's red. So it's been red for a while now because there's been a massive heat wave in the UK if you are not from here. But then it's really easy to see what the temperature is in the room. Then you can go on Google, like for example, the Lullaby Trust again have a good image of what you should dress your baby in for different temperatures, and then you can just dress them accordingly. So like at the moment he's been in a vest and a little 0.5 tog sleeping bag, or when it was really hot just like a vest or just a nappy, and then as the winter comes around you know like what to put them in. It's just really good, so you can just see so easily what the temperature is. And even in the middle of the night, if you're a bit groggy, like, oh, it's a bit hot in here, don't have to really look at the temperature. You can say, oh, that's red. And maybe when you're doing a changing a nappy, adjust what they're wearing. You know, it's really handy to have. So I would definitely recommend that as well. This is the Frida Baby Derma Frida, the Flake Fixer. Yeah, the 3-step cradle cap system. Basically, we got this because Finley had cradle cap, and Elliot, our middle child, had it so bad. It was awful for a long time and it was horrible. So I didn't want it to get to that stage with Finley. Maybe Finley would always have just had it less anyway, but I found this was really helpful. So it comes on this little stand, and it's this and a comb. So basically it's double-sided. This is just a sponge, and this is the softest. Imagine like a Tangle teaser. Hopefully it's not like all dirty or anything. Maybe it is a little bit. There's hair in there. But it's so fine and so soft. Hopefully you can see that. So you can just, with some warm soapy water, you can just very gently go like massage over their heads, and then very, very gently like loosen up the cradle cap with this. I actually found the sponge was the best, and it would just like loosen it all up, and then maybe it wouldn't be till the next bath time the next day that those bits would all kind of like wash out. But it just loosened it and kept it from going really, like, it goes almost scaly and yellow for some babies when it's bad. A bit like Elliot, it can't be helped. But I think if you catch it quite early and you just, I wouldn't do it every day because their little heads are too sensitive for that, but if you just keep on top of it, then it doesn't progress too badly. And then you have the little comb as well to brush out the flakes. So yeah, I just thought that was really handy, and I'm sure there are other things you could use, but because this is so soft and delicate, it's a really good one to get. But obviously, again, if you are pregnant, obviously, like, wait till to see, your baby might not have cradle cap. So that's just a recommendation, just to pop onto Amazon Prime if they do. And then yes, another thing we've loved this time around, which we never used before, were the Mam bottles and dummies. I really love these. These are the self-sterilising microwavable bottles, it's kind of wet because it has been sterilised, this one, but I just wanted to show you. You kind of just take it all apart and put it all like within itself, and then you fill, say for example, 6 of them up, and then you put them in the microwave with some water in the bottom, and that is how you sterilise them. So you don't need to have a big sterilising machine, and it only takes the 6 minutes. So they're really, really good. And also our Finley struggled with reflux, so we were using the Tommy Tippy bottles as we did with our first 2, which I do really rate them, by the way, if you have just a baby that's on normal milk. But when Finley swapped to reflux milk, we couldn't understand why we couldn't get the milk out of the teat. We had the anti-colic bottles, we had the normal bottles, we had different teats and all sorts of things, but the milk wouldn't come out and it was too thick. So someone recommended the Man ones, and we've never looked back since. I did at first feel like they were quite big and quite heavy. You can get little ones for tiny babies, but obviously they do start to drink more milk fairly quickly. But now he's, like, since sort of 5-6 months old, he holds it himself, so even with the milk in, he doesn't find it too heavy. They have really lovely designs, pale pink, pale blue, grey, beige, and they're just really great bottles. Just pop them in the microwave every day. How it explains to do. At first it can kind of be a bit like, what? It's a bit of a faff taking that, but you get into it and it's just really easy. So I thought I'd recommend the Man bottles as well. So there are so many more things I could probably recommend, but I am aware I have gone on for a while. So let me know if you would like me to do more recommendations, or maybe certain categories, play like toys, all things like that, because there's so much I haven't mentioned in this video. I just thought it would be nice to talk a little bit more in depth about each one instead of listing millions and not really telling you why. But I'll link them all in the description box below, as well as the Sky Cinema trailer for Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank. And yeah, ask me any questions you want to know in the comments box below, and I'll be back with another video very soon. See you later. Bye.